What's up, guys? It's Solo back with another video, and this is the earliest that I have ever given you guys the keys. Today, it is day one of NBA 2K25, and I'm giving you guys the best dribble moves for all builds, ball handles, heights, play styles, and more. Also, if you watch the whole video all the way through to the end, I will have a quick dribble tutorial for you guys. And if you guys still haven't, make sure to subscribe. I have a lot of other helpful videos dropping soon, and you're not going to want to miss them. I've been streaming all day on Twitch, twitch.tv/solo_. I'll put a link in the description. I'm probably live right now. Before I show you guys how to dribble like the best players in the world, we have a quick word from today's sponsor. This is my favorite time of the year because not only is 2K out, but the NFL season starts on Thursday. And I have a very special offer for you guys. If you sign up on Underdog Fantasy using code SOLO, you'll get a ton of specials, including this Travis Kelce 1-yard special. All I have to do is get 1 yard, which you know he's going to do, and you're winning money. Now, Underdog's been blessing it with a bunch of specials, like, say, this Travis Etienne one or this new Vulture Protection one. All Underdog Fantasy is higher or lower on your favorite player's player stats. As you guys can see, I made 8 different picks that if I put $10 on it, I would win 800 if all 8 were correct. I'm telling you guys, take advantage of these specials like I have been. Like, look, Tyreek Hill, they lowered his yards line. Look at this one, Malik Neighbors, only 39 yards, they lowered his. This one is a no sweat, for example, so I'll get my money back even if I lose. This one is a 10% boost. I'm just taking advantage of the specials that they keep spamming. They also have a ton of different fantasy drafts if you're into that. And again, make sure you're signing up and using code SOLO on Underdog Fantasy, because you're also going to get up to $1,000 in bonus credit with all the specials on top of it. Have fun and be sure to play responsibly. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time to put you guys on and turn you guys into some insane dribble gods. First thing first, I want to start with, because I know people will be asking about it if I don't go over it, is going to be my controller settings. Now, I don't really think there's anything in here that you guys need to change. A lot of this is for just jump shot stuff. By the way, 5,000 likes in this video, I got you guys with the jump shot ASAP. I would just put pro stick function on default and then pro stick orientation on absolute, and I'll scroll through the rest of these, but I honestly didn't even change nothing down here. Actually, I changed one thing. This is actually kind of important. Passive dribble hand switches, turn this off. This determines whether to allow passive dribble hand switches when the left stick is released. So sometimes your player just starts dribbling on his own. I turn that off. But next up, let's talk about something that's very important. It's going to be boost and Gatorade. So if I go over to progression and then I go down to get boost, you guys can see on the skill boost page, we have boost for everything. I mean, you've probably seen this before. 10 games of ball handling / passing is going to be 1500 VC. Trust me, you do not need this. Do not buy this. This is not going to turn you into any better of a dribbler. The Gatorade, however, will help you out, but it's very expensive. So I only recommend buying this if you're going to be playing like stage, or like if you're going to wager somebody, or you know what I'm saying, you got a huge game, or if you just got it like that, then yeah, I would probably buy this. But for most people, I wouldn't really recommend this. It's a lot of VC. And I would also recommend buying the middle one, the Gatorade Thirst Quencher pack. And you guys might notice on the right of my screen, it says weekly workout, and then on the bottom there, it says additional turbo meter active. And you guys can see what the additional turbo meter is there down in the bottom right hand corner. This is going to allow me to dribble a lot longer than everybody else. And you might be wondering how I got this. It's pretty simple. Like if you've been playing 2K for a minute, you probably know. And so how you can get the additional turbo meter and also stamina. As we know, stamina is not in the My Player Builder anymore, so you cannot just upgrade it on your own. Basically, you start out as an 85 and you have to do these Gatorade workouts every single week to get your stamina up. And this is also how you get the additional turbo meter. So you see everybody locked in. My son Baked right there, locked in on the ladder. Okay, OG triple OG 901 locked in. Brody Loki looks like he just got 1 stars. I think he failed. But basically, when you're right here, you want to press Y, or if you're on PlayStation, press triangle to pull up the Gatorade workout checklist, and you got to do 4 different workouts. You guys can choose which one. You guys can see in the bottom, my stamina is now a 93. Each workout attempted gives you +2 stamina. Next up, I want to talk about the badges real quick and some of the takeovers. It's not like it was in the past where we had to like choose which badges we wanted to use with our badge points, but you guys can see I've been locked in. I already have a bunch of gold badges, which are pretty tough to get. Like, it's kind of tough to progress your badges, at least in the first day or so. But you guys can see I've been working on them, and honestly, ankle assassin, which is basically ankle breaker, this is going to be a very good badge. So if you are able to get this on gold or Hall of Fame, which you need a very high ball handle for that, you're going to see a lot of ankle breakers, especially if you dribble how I'm about to put you on to dribbling. Handles for days, we know that's a very good badge. Unpluckable, I don't have on gold yet, but of course Unpluckable is going to be a really good badge. And then as our tier 2 badges, we don't really have any finishing badges here. And then as far as the takeovers go, on a lot of my builds, I'm probably going to be picking like shooting takeovers, not really ball handling takeovers. So I'm not really going to use a takeover that can affect my dribbling, like Dribble Wizard right here, that at level 5 would give me +7, or no, +8 to my ball handle and speed of ball. I really don't recommend picking a dribbling takeover. Now we have the best part of the video. This is the part of the video that you guys clicked on it for, and that is going to be the dribble moves. So first off, I'm a 6'3", so I'm going to start off with dribble moves for these smaller builds, but I will be mixing in dribble moves for the taller builds because I know there's people that are going to be watching that are like 6'6" or maybe 6'8" and want some dribble moves. You guys can get some of the dribble moves I'm about to talk about for my 6'3", but as we know, there are height restrictions on a lot of different dribble moves. So to start off, we have our dribble style, and you guys can always see in the bottom of the finger corner, there are going to be requirements for all these moves. So make sure you have those requirements if you want to use this move. For example, Garland, you need an 85 plus speed of ball, and you got to be under 6'5". But James Harden, you just got to be under 6'10". So as a 6'6" dribbler, you'll obviously be able to get this. Now, for my first few games, I was using Darius Garland, and I still know this is very popular. I know a lot of the best guards are using Darius Garland, but it didn't quite give me the cross launch that I wanted that Devin Booker gives me. So I'll show you how to use this at the end of the video. Dribble style is very important, guys, so don't just skim over this quickly. And I tested a lot of the good ones like Booker, Garland, and Harden. You guys could test all three if you want, but the one I ultimately decided to go with is Devin Booker. You guys can get this on all dribbling builds basically because it says height under 6'10", and you just need this 80 plus speed of ball. So sorry guys, if you did go with a 75 speed of ball, then maybe you want to go with this Harden dribble style. Next up, we have our signature sideman. This is a very important dribble move, and I did go with a 92 ball handle on my 6'3". If you guys saw my build video, you know that build is insane. So sorry if you guys went with a 90 ball handle, or if you went with like an 86 or something. I got dribble moves for you in a second. But on my 6'3", I tried out Steph Curry and I tried out Trae Young, and honestly, they feel very similar. So whichever one you want to use, you can use it. If you want to try both, you know, maybe one feels better than the other, you could do it. But the one that I ultimately decided to go with was Trae Young Sig Saza. For a regular breakdown combo, I'm using De'Aaron Fox. I don't really activate this too much. I don't know if it'll be too effective this year. It never really has been. For aggressive breakdown combo, right now I'm using Ja Morant. This is one move that I want to lab a little bit more, but Ja Morant has been the aggressive breakdown combo that I've used since they added this into the game. You can actually get some pretty good launches out of this if you time it up. Now we have our escape moves, and this is one of the most important dribble moves in the game. If you have on a bad escape move, your dribbling is just going to be really bad, especially with your side to side like Hezzy's. And if you guys don't know how to do an escape move or like the side to side Hezzy, I'll show you at the end of the video. I use it in my combos all the time, and you guys can see I tried 4 of the best escape moves, 4 of the escape moves with the highest ball handle required in order to unlock it. I know there's a lot of comp guards that are using Damian Lillard. I, however, am not using that one, but if you guys want to give it a try, I'm sure it's a good one because I've seen a lot of good people use it. I think I saw Fana. He was in the 2K league. I'm sure some of you guys know him. He was using Damian Lillard escape moves. And then De'Aaron Fox and Kyrie are also solid ones, but the one that I'm using right now is Stephen Curry escape moves. Guys, Steph Curry has some of the best dribble moves in the game. I'll say Steph Curry, Darius Garland, and Trae Young. Those are my top 3 like across the board for like every animation. Combo moves. This is another one that it doesn't really matter too much. Maybe it'll be effective this year, but I've never really, you know, done this. So I just threw on Kyrie Irving. For my crossover, again, like I said, Trae Young has some really good sigs. I've been using Trae Young crossover, although this one, I might be able to find a better one. I don't do too many crossovers, but his crossover is pretty good. Now we have our behind the back. This is important. The behind the back is not like it was last year. You guys know how crazy it was last year with the LT cancel, or even going back to 2K20 where people were literally stopping on a dime and just spamming behind the backs. As of right now, until we find something out, you know, behind the backs are not as OP, but they are still very important. You guys can see I tried out De'Aaron Fox and I also tried out Darius Garland. Now, lucky for you guys, the behind the back that I'm going with, and I think it's the best in the game right now, is going to be Darius Garland, which is unlocked at an 84 plus ball handle. So a lot of you guys should be able to get this. Again, I'll talk about those taller build dribble moves in a second. Go with Darius Garland. Trust me, you're not going to regret it. My spin, I mean, I don't spin too much, but I've just been putting on basic spin since like 2K19. This is how you get the really good spin backs. For hesitation, this is another move that I'm not sure if it's going to be very important in 2K25 as far as the dribbling goes. I don't really activate it too much, but as you guys can tell, I'm using Stephen Curry hesitation. Now we have our step back, and this is a very important dribble move, at least for me, the way that I dribble, and I'll show you guys how to activate, you know, the snatch back, because that is tied to your step back, and that's the main dribble move that I look for when I'm looking at these different step backs. Darius Garland is pretty solid, but the one I ended up going with is Trae Young. It kind of gives you like a hop. Like if you guys played 2K16 and you remember like the side to side hops where people would like hop and cancel out of a shot and just hop left and right, back and forth, and like combo up crazy. You can kind of get those animations with this Trae Young step back, and I'll show you how to do that at the end of the video. There are some other really good step backs though that I'm about to talk about in a second, especially if you're like 6'6", you might want to listen. And then for triple threat style, I just threw on Devin Booker. Okay, so for dribble styles, again, now we're talking about dribble moves for every single build, whether you're like tall or whether you're 6'9" or whatever. Again, Devin Booker is the one that I recommend, and you can get it up to, you know, a 6'10" player. You need an 80 speed of ball. So if you didn't do that, again, I think speed of ball is very important because it's tied to some of these moves, then I would say maybe go with the James Harden dribble style. If you guys are taller, then maybe go with the Penny Hardaway one, although you do need your ball handle to be at least an 85. And if your ball handle is very low, you guys could try out the DeMar DeRozan 6 size up, or down here, Zach LaVine, which is unlocked at an 80. You could try that as well. Again, regular breakdowns, I don't think this really matters at all. Maybe it will end up mattering, but I didn't activate this last year and I still haven't really activated this year. So in my opinion, you could just throw on whatever you want. Again, I'm using De'Aaron Fox, but it doesn't really matter. Just find one that looks cool and throw it on. For aggressive breakdowns, if you are taller, maybe go with Zach LaVine. Basically, you guys would want to look through these. I haven't obviously tested out every single one yet. The game just came out. But what you want to look for is the first move to be like a quick cross, so that in game you can just cancel out of that and burst the other way. You know what I'm saying? So Zach LaVine kind of has a nice cross as his first right there. You can see there's a cross right when the move starts. You can kind of burst the other way right out of it. If I was you, that's what I would probably try to do. For escape moves, Jimmy Butler's escape moves should be pretty good. Last year they were kind of meta for taller builds or builds that just didn't have a high ball handle. You only need a 70+ speed of ball, and you got to be between 6'5" and 6'10", or maybe 6'9", I think it is. Devin Booker's escape moves also look like they're going to be pretty good. Look at how fast, like, hold on, give it a second. Wait, that animation right there. Look at how far that hezzy is. For combo moves, this is another one that I don't think really matters. Again, I just threw on Kyrie Irving, so if you find one that you like, just throw it on. For crossovers, basically you just want to look for a fast one. Devin Booker seems to be pretty quick, as you guys can see, like compared to Jaylen Brown or any of these others. Like, these are a little bit slower than, say, Devin Booker's. I would say D-Book if you have an 80+ ball handle and you're got to be under 6'10". But if your ball handle is mad low for some reason, then maybe go with Austin Reeves. Now, if you have to, because I've kind of been looking at this, the pro behind the back does not look that bad. Like, look at that animation. If your ball handle is low, this one has like pretty much no restriction on it. Look at the pro behind the back, like right there. That creates a lot of space. You guys could use that if you want. Kawhi's behind the back also creates a lot of space, as you can see, but the other ones, like when you're running down court, look kind of mid. So I don't know if I'd really recommend this. Again, for spins, I recommend basic for every build that has no restrictions. Maybe we find out that later on in the year, you know, Anthony Davis or some crazy shit is like an OP spin. But for right now, I'm just going with basic. Jimmy Butler seems to have a pretty good hesitation, and you only need a 70+ ball handle to get it. And then as far as the step backs go, this is the big one that I wanted to talk to you guys about. That is going to be Luka Doncic step back. I know a lot of people that are using this for his, not only his step back, which I heard is not as good, but the snatch back, again, is the main move that we want to talk about when it comes to our step backs, at least for me and the way that I dribble. And Luka apparently has a very good snatch back. I know some of the top players are using it, so you guys can get this on a 6'6", 6'8", whatever. If you're a taller ISO build or just a taller dribbler. And again, for triple threat, I threw on Devin Booker. Now that you got the dribble moves, you only got half of the keys because you're not going to know how to use them. You're going to throw them on and you're going to try to dribble like last year. It's not going to work. So listen up. I'm about to show you how to use some of the moves and dribble like the best players in the game. And thank you to 2K. Finally, the My Court is back. It is right here on the corner. If you guys don't know where it is, basically it's in the middle of the city, as you guys can see. And that is where we are going to be practicing our dribble moves. So I recommend you going here. First things first, I need you guys to sub up if you guys haven't, because I'm giving you guys the keys on day one. Originally, I wasn't going to drop this video till like day 2 or 3, but everyone was spamming me. Everyone in my Twitch stream, everyone in my streams have just been saying, yo, Solo, give me the moves. So I had to come through for y'all. Also, if you get this video to 10,000 likes, I'll drop the advanced hand cam dribble tutorial. So make sure to lock in and smash that like button. Today, we're just going to go over some simple moves like the Devin Booker cross launch with his dribble style. So the ball's in my right hand. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start sprinting. So hold your sprint button down, and then you're just going to run left with the left stick like that. And that is the cross launch you can get. As you guys can see, you get some pretty explosive launches out of it, and that is what I wanted. I could not get that out of the Darius Garland dribble style. And what you guys will learn quickly about 2K25 is that there are not many speed boosts, or at least not right now. There are not many known speed boosts. So right now, it's a lot of like standstill dribbling. The standstill dribbling is looking really good, but as far as like bursting out of moves, like that is not too OP. But you guys see that launch right there? The D-Book dribble style allows you to do that and launch out of any moves. You just have to go to the opposite ball hand. So if it's in the right, you want to run left. This is one of the moves that a lot of people have been asking me, how am I doing? And it looks just like that. Just like that. It almost looks like a little misdirection, and that is going to be with the Trae Young step back. So again, make sure you guys have that on. That is the reason that I'm using it. It kind of reminds me of like the 2K16 dribbling, how people would like cancel out their shots and just hop left and right. And how to do this is very simple. Hold the sprint button and then just flick down on the right stick. If you have on the Trae Young step back, it'll give you that. But again, that is at a pretty high ball handle, so I know a lot of you guys can't get that. If you have on, say, Luka step back, or you know, one of the other ones, Garland maybe, then the snatch back is still gonna be really good, but it just won't look like this. It'll look like a regular snatch back. And so in my combos, when I'm doing like the side to side hezzy, then the snatch back right after it, or you know, I just be mixing in different moves. The snatch back helps me create a lot of space, and then it also is good to like run out of just like that. And again, that is using the Devin Booker dribble style. So look, snatch, I just ran out of adrenaline, but snatch, run out of. Something else I like to do right now is just like doing a crossover. So flicking top left or top right will do the crossover. And then right away after the crossover, I hezzy back the other way. And this is going to be with the Steph Curry escape move. So right after you cross over, hezzy the other way, it's going to create a lot of space. You could snatch out of it, snatch just like that. And then again, you do the crossover, hezzy the other way, snatch. You can run out of it the other way with the Devin Booker dribble style. You're starting to put all these dribble moves together. And what I noticed is the behind the back is not like it was last year. Like if you try and do it just like that, like a standing one, it'll just do this. And maybe I'm doing it wrong. Maybe I don't know. Again, it's only the first day. We're going to learn a lot more as we go on. But what I did notice is, let's say I do a crossover, then the behind the back, it gives me one. Just like that. So if I'm chaining it up with moves and I try the standing behind the back, which if you don't know, hold the sprint button and then flick down right, because since the ball's in my left hand, or I'm going to do a crossover right and I'm going to do behind the back to the left. So I'm be flicking it down left. So ready? Crossover right, down left with that right stick. Of course, holding the sprint button the whole time. It does give me a behind the back, and this creates a lot of space. So sometimes I'll just cross. I'll just do ready, cross behind the back, cross behind the back, or I'll just, you know what I'm saying? I'll be chaining all those few moves together, like cross, hezzy, snatch, behind the back, just like that. Creates a lot of space. So yeah, right now that's majority of my dribbling. It's just like the stuff that I'm showing you right now. It's like a cross, hezzy, snatch, cross, hezzy, snatch behind the back. I'm just mixing these up, and then also with the D-Book dribble style, cross launching out of the moves is one of my best speed boosts that I could find right now. Also, something that catches my opponent off guard is when I just flick down regularly without holding the sprint button. Now, they did take out the LeBron halfback. I was never one that really used it. I thought that was always cheesy, and I don't know, I just never used it, right? But when I'm dribbling like this, and especially if they're sagging off me, you do that step back. That wasn't even the right Annie. I feel like maybe I gotta be over here. You hit him with this step back right there, which is a slow one, but usually they're sagging off you, and you could get a three, like bang, just like that, 3 ball. That could be pretty good as well. But yeah, get the moves down themselves, which is very simple. Like a lot of the moves I was showing you, just like hold the trigger, flick down on your stick, or hold the trigger and go to your side, which is like upright, or go top left with the right stick, just like that, or do a crossover, which is flicking this. Like a lot of simple stuff is what I'm telling you guys. But once you get them down and you learn how to chain them together like I'm doing right here, it can get pretty glitchy. And let's be completely honest, I know when we look back on this video and it's like August, we'll be like, that dribbling is really not that good, because we're going to learn more as the year goes on. But right now, this dribbling is pretty good, and I would say I'm honestly one of the best dribblers. Now, I'm not going to be no Steezo. I'm not going to be, you know, running around like this, spinning, doing behind the backs and everything. You know what I'm saying? I'm not that type of dribbler. I like to score more efficiently, get right to the point with my moves. I'm live right now on Twitch. I've been streaming like 16 hours a day on the rep grind. I'm going to be one of the first legends, so make sure to follow me on Twitch. Link in the description. Solo_ is my Twitch. Sub up if you guys made it this far, and smash the like button, because I got you guys with my jump shot soon. I wanted to post this first because I know everybody really posts jump shots as their first video, so I was like, you know what, people are gonna want dribble moves. I got y'all with that. If you enjoyed this video, click the video pop up on your screen right now.